Michael Schumacher's time at Ferrari is legendary. The German scored 72 Grand Prix victories and 5 Formula 1 Drivers' World titles at the famous Italian squad. Those numbers were unprecedented when Schumacher set them in the early 2000s and have only been subsequently matched by Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Of all his victories, however, it's perhaps the first one that people most remember. In appalling conditions, Schumacher won the 1996 Spanish Grand Prix. This is a short view back to the past on how Schumacher started winning at Ferrari.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past.
It's easy to forget now the state that Ferrari was in when Schumacher joined them from Benetton as a double world champion. They had won just 2 races in 5 years and hadn't taken the driver's title since Jody Scheckter's success in 1979. The F310 of 1996 was Ferrari's first V10 engined F1 car after years and years of running V12s. It was probably not the step forward that they were hoping for and was completely outclassed, at least in dry conditions, by the Williams-Renault FW18, which would win 12 of the season's 16 races. Before the Spanish Grand Prix, Schumacher had somehow managed to take pole positions at the San Marino Grand Prix and the Monaco Grand Prix. But at Imola, he'd been outpaced by Damon Hill's Williams, and at Monaco, he'd slipped off and into the barrier in tricky conditions on the opening lap. Things didn't look much better at Barcelona. Schumacher qualified almost a second off the pace and made an appalling start. He fell from 3rd to the midfield. It's very difficult to tell on the videos, nobody seemed to report it at the time, but if you look, it's roughly back end of the top 10. But by the end of the first lap, he's recovered to 6th. Ferrari teammate Eddie Irvine then did the right thing and threw his car off the road, and Damon Hill had the first of 3 excursions, which helped Schumacher climb the field further. He then caught Gerhard Berger's Benetton and overtook him, and already the fastest driver in the field, he closed on Jean Alesi's B196. He quickly caught Alesi and dived past the Benetton down the inside into turn 5 on lap 9. On lap 12, he did exactly the same thing to erstwhile leader Jacques Villeneuve's Williams, and just 2.5 tours later was 10 seconds clear. More than any other driver, Schumacher experimented with different lines and took some very, very wide lines through the faster corners to find grip. He kept the lead even during 2 pit stops and managed to win by 45 seconds despite his V10 becoming a V8 or a V9 at various points in the second half of the race. Schumacher's Spanish Grand Prix success remains right up there with some of the finest wet weather victories in F1 history, along with Ayrton Senna's 1985 Portuguese Grand Prix win and Jackie Stewart's 1968 win on the fearsome Nürburgring. Schumacher managed to go on to win 2 other races during the 1996 season, but he would have to wait a long time before finally getting that 3rd title. It wasn't until 2000 that he took his 3rd crown and Ferrari's first driver's title for 21 years. That opened the floodgates and he was then unbeatable for 5 years. During that time at Ferrari, Schumacher also surpassed Ayrton Senna's record for the highest number of wins in rain-affected Grand Prix. There were many other great Schumacher drives in the wet, including his wins at Spa and Monaco in 1997, but in my view, none of them quite match that very first one at Barcelona in 1996. It was one of the finest drives of a truly remarkable F1 career. If you like this video, do remember to click the like and subscribe button, and do let us know in the comments if there are any tales that you'd like us to look at in future. And don't forget to take a look at some other great videos on Motorsport TV.